Hey everybody, welcome back to Parent Vibes. Today we're going to be talking about parenting tips for new girl dads. So for those of you guys that are not familiar with the feminine world, you're like myself that just grew up with a bunch of brothers, being a girl dad can be a very challenging experience. So hopefully with these tips, it'll help you through that process. So tip number 1. You want to be physical with your daughters. Most dads, for some reason, think that it's okay to be physical with your sons, you can wrestle with them, and just have more physicality. And with your daughters, it's smiley faces, it's singing, it's really just emotional and sensational activities. But all babies benefit from physicality. Being physical with your daughter early in life is going to build a strong bond with your daughter so that later in life, when she's going through puberty and all of those phases where she doesn't want to be touched or doesn't want to be near anybody, you're still going to have this foundational bond at a young age that's going to still keep you guys close and allow her to still be open to you and vulnerable as far as talking about different things. So tip 2, you want to treat mom well, right? Babies observe everything. And for you being the model of a male in her life, how you show love and how you interact with the different people around your baby's life, especially mom, is going to set the tone for what she expects from a man. So even if you're not with the mother, how you choose to co-parent and how that interaction, how that communication is, whether verbally or physically, is really going to leave an impact. So you really want to be mindful and intentful in how you choose to show and express yourself. The activities that you do around your daughter will show you expectations of what a man should be doing or should not be doing, right? So, there's a common conception. I grew up, I'll take the example of me. I grew up where my dad basically didn't do any dishes, didn't do anything. Now, that's not to say that that's actually right? Like, that's something that a man and a woman can both do. Can clean, can cook. You want to show these examples so it's not like she's expecting, only mom needs to do those things. These are things that both mom and dad can do. So tip 3, you want to be involved in her activities. Now, later in life, this is probably going to be dance class. This is going to be different interests that she's interested in at that time. But when they're young, you still want to be involved in the activities that she's doing, right? For example, our daughter, we just signed her up for swimming recently. And for about the first few weeks, my wife was in the water with her because it's basically a mommy and me class, right, in the water. But, my wife suggested I go into the water and actually have that bonding time with our daughter as well. And it's good because it's also going to show your daughter that she can also connect with you just as much as she can connect with mom, right? So you want to look for activities to really have that one-on-one time. So tip number 3, you want to build her self-esteem. So how do you do that, right? Well, you want to compliment her, but not just on her features, not just on her physical looks. Society tends to, especially with girls, tends to just focus on their features, on their looks. We get it all the time. Oh my God, your daughter's so beautiful. Her hair is gorgeous. And it's lovely hearing these things, but this is something she doesn't have control of, right? This is something that's not going to build her self-esteem and empower her, because that actually comes from the actions that she does, not just what she happens to be. So you definitely want to compliment her. For example, I started this early on, right? Within that first month, what I would do is anytime she woke up and began to yawn, this big yawn and stretch out, I would celebrate that and compliment her, bravo, and clap and really cheer for her in just doing that. When she finished her milk bottle, we would champion that. Bravo, good job. You finished the milk bottle, and really just build that self-esteem in her in that way, right? At that early age. Even now, during her swimming classes, sometimes she'll cry during the swimming class, but she gets through the swimming class, right? She does that activity. She didn't quit. You make sure to compliment her on, wow, she went through it even though it might have been challenging. And I could see it in her faces and how she reacts that this is kind of coming in, because she's, she'll do this for herself too. She'll start championing herself. So I do think it's clicking. So you want to make sure you're just focused on the inside game for her. So, and that's throughout her life, because that's only going to empower her. So by doing this, you're going to help your daughter realize that self-esteem and self-worth comes from the inside and comes from something she can control, right? Which is through her actions and will. So tip 4, you want to avoid the everything pink stereotype. Marketers for decades have basically put all girls into this box of pink being the only color that can somehow represent them, which isn't the case, right? You do not want to put your daughters in a box where the only way they can express themselves is through this one color, because that's not the case, right? Allow them to have experiences and to have clothes, toys with different colors, even blue, right? Because there's no gender on colors. So you don't want them to be in a box. Yeah, so you want to make sure that they can express themselves in whatever color they like. That's only going to allow their creativity to really expand and really just push their creativity, quite frankly. So that concludes 4 tips that can help you new dads, you new girl dads out there. Remember, parenting, it's not just a role, it's a relationship, right? So these tips hopefully will help you build that stronger relationship with your daughters. And if you like what you saw today, be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, hit that notification button, share it to your friends and family. And as always, we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.